So very good afternoon to one and all. Resource person has joined our cloud meeting. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's resource person, Dr. Shrikant Kallurkar sir, to this afternoon session of the second last day of this NEP orientation and sensitization course. Indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure to have him here as a resource person. Uh, Dr. Shrikant Kallurkar sir, a person with a vast teaching and research experience. Uh, he's a retired principal at AET Atharva College Engineering, Mumbai. He is currently Advisor Research Institute for Study in Vedic Science, Shivpur, Akkalkot, District Solapur, and Advisory Board member of ENSIN, Entrepreneurship, Startup and Innovation Forum, Pune. He is B Mechanical Engineering, MMS, and Doctorate in Industrial Engineering. He has worked in industries as Bajaj Auto Limited, Kirloskar Brothers Limited, Pune for 5 years. And he has a total of 45 years of experience, 5 years of industrial experience, and 40 years of teaching experience to his credit. He is founder HOD of Production Engineering at SGGS Institute of Engineering and Technology, Nanded, principal at AISSM College of Engineering, Pune, and founder principal of Marathwada Mitramandal College of Engineering, Pune. He is recognized research guide for BIT Ranchi, SP University, Pune, SRTM University, Nanded, and SGP University, Amravati, and R. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada Institute, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, Solapur University, Pacific University. He has published more than 100 research papers and have 512 citation. So indeed, it is really a pleasure and honor for all of us to have him here as a resource person. Uh, I would now hand over the session to Dr. Kallurkar, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, yes. Sir, your colleague has joined, sir?
Let me check. Ruta Belsare, could you join?
And what उनका नाम क्या है, sir? What is her name?
Ruta Belsare.
Ruta. Yes, Ruta has joined. Amol, Ruta ma'am को भी co-host बनाइए.
Co-host करना. हाँ, Ruta मैम को co-host करना पड़ेगा. She will share the PowerPoints.
Yes, yes. Amol, you are there?
Yes, sir. Ruta ma'am as the co-host.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ruta madam. Hello, Ruta.
Ma'am, you are now a co-host. You can unmute yourself.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Can you share the PowerPoints?
Yes. I'm just about to.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Yes, yes. So, thank you very much, friends. In fact, it is always pleasure to be a part of this activity. And I remember last time we had very good discussions also on the topic. And I thank the organizers that you have given me the opportunity to share my views. In fact, it was the year 2003 when the secretary of the organization had just left the government job at AGGS Nanded and joined AISMS College of Engineering, Pune as a principal, and the honorable secretary said that we are going to Germany. I said, okay, sir, but then what? And his reply was that we'll go for a conference on online Educa Berlin. That time I was not aware much about what is online education. So I went with him and tried to understand what he's saying, what they are saying. It was a big gathering, almost 1,500 plus people. And I didn't understand much about that. But when I came back, And after 2007, once again, when I joined as a founder principal of a college, Marathwada Mitra Mandals, College of Engineering, Karvenagar, Pune. That time again, the Honorable Secretary asked, what can be a new direction our institute can take right from the beginning? And then I remembered that online Educa Berlin is something which is very useful. So, thank you. I said, let me go and attend that conference, because last time I didn't understand much for that. And so immediately he said, okay, but then while coming back, he happened to be a great industrialist also. So naturally, he knew the way of give and take. He said, when I'm going to spend money on your travel, at the end, something should be available to the institute, something new, something unique. So this time I had a responsibility. And I'll share with you, that was 2007, and about 2,000 people from about 95 countries and 300 companies who were dealing with the business of online education were present there. And always it was on the back of mind that this is not a conference just to attend, listen to the people and come back, but I have to have something like a takeaway from the program today, from this program. So then I thought that time there were two platforms, WebCity and Blackboard. So I was about to recommend any one of them. Approximate starter kit price was around 10 lakhs of Indian rupees at that time. So I thought that I will recommend any one of that. And I was personally confused later. So I went to the stall of one of the American university. And fortunately, someone from some young boy was there, and there was one very senior professor sitting behind there. So I went to that professor and said that I'm really confused, sir. I am a principal. They don't understand what is meant by principal. So I had to tell I am a dean of an engineering college in India. It's a very new engineering college, just started this year. And I'm confused whether I should go for Blackboard or WebCity. So that fellow was around 7-8 years elder to me, just got up and said, let's do one thing, we'll have coffee. Stock across the coffee table. So he took me to the cafeteria, coffees were served. And he said, many of American and European universities, we have burned millions of dollars in trial and error with various types of technology. So best thing is that please don't buy anything. Think of online, which is from the open source. So he recommended me MOOCs. Now MOOCs is common and many institutions are using the MOOCs platform. So he recommended that you can go for MOOCs. So we went for MOOCs. And so I came back. Then I said, yes, this is what is the recommendation. So they said, fine, if you are asking not to spend money. So fortunately, not the professors of engineering college, but one professor of physics. She came forward and said that, sir, I will keep on trying for this. And then we could implement that. Then I started talking to in various colleges the importance of a hybrid mode of education, because that nothing was there at that time. So I delivered number of seminars, 1 or 2 hours in different colleges. Then slowly in, I think 2013, when I joined Atharva College of Engineering, Malad in Mumbai, one professor who had heard me in a college in Thane, he was there in the computer engineering department, and one day he came to me and said, sir, after your lecture, I tried to implement the MOOCs and we could do it. So shall we try it here? Then I talked to the management. They said, okay, paisa nahi kharcha karna hai to aaram se kar dijiye. And then a team of about 2 or 3 professors and around 20 students. They worked almost day and night for 6 months. Because once the students are charged with a lot of energy, and finally the platform was installed, they tried to understand various aspects of it. And surprisingly, we came next to IIT Bombay for use of that MOOCs platform. And slowly with that, we started moving towards online education. And then after that, then Zoom was not there on which the platform on which we are meeting today. Now either there was no importance of Google Meet also. So we went for some local platform from Mumbai. The cost was hardly 30,000 per year. And at a time, 100 students could attend. So we thought that yes, we will go for online education along with MOOCs. And as a principal, almost I made it compulsory for my faculty members that out of approximately say 50 hours of teaching per semester per subject, at least 5 hours should be online mode. The teacher should teach from home and students should learn from anywhere. So we came up with a mission, anytime, anywhere learning. So 5 hours of theory started. Then one of my friends from College of Engineering, Pune, he called me and he said that College of Engineering, Pune, along with about 6 IITs and the Dayal Agra University, the Ministry of HRD has funded us a lot. That time it was Ministry of HRD. And at our cost, we'll come and train your students and teachers. Anyway, for theory, you are using online platforms. So we will train you using online platform for practicals. Again, it was free. So I said, yes, fine. Because I was always remembering at the back of my mind what that American professor had said. Don't spend money as much as possible. And then they taught our students and teachers almost for one full day. And then we together decided, the HODs and myself, that out of 10 experiments that we conduct per subject, at least one will be conducted online. And that continued from almost 2015 to 2020. And we all know COVID was there in March 20 almost. I remember around 20th of March 2020, lockdown was announced. Everyone was asked not to move out from home. And we all were searching how the teaching learning will take place. And that time, almost every student in the college was trained on online education. And every teacher was trained to offer the courses on online mode. And that time we have understood that even that small platform which we had locally purchased not enough. So we went for free version of Google Meet. And then our computer engineering department people also studied, and then finally we decided to go for Google Meet that time, not for Zoom, even the paid version later. And surprisingly, in the month of April 2020, our teachers taught for 1,000 hours theory and 700 hours of practicals. So this is the beauty of that whole story, what I had told you. And now there is an importance of this hybrid mode of education. Now, if you see what is the problem, thank you for sharing this PPT. Then we all want to develop, we all want to grow, and Government of India wants to increase the gross enrollment ratio in our higher education. And that's the reason we all keep on meeting. And now in NEP 2020, this has been given a thrust also. But if you try to assess, then we understand that too much time is spent on assessing the problem rather than a friendly, tangible solution. And same thing is happening with NEP also, because many of us are jumbled. The managements of the institutions, the heads of the institutions, and the faculty members also. That once this is going to be implemented, how are we going to function? And what kind of problems and challenges we all are going to face? Because if you see NEP 2020, when it is implemented in fullest form, there will be a sea change in our teaching learning process. There will be sea change in managing the things at the institution levels. I was talking to a professor from one of the private universities in Mumbai who started implementing these philosophies little at early stage. And he was saying, we have stopped admitting the students for the whole course, and we have started admitting the student for the subject wise. So our fees is decided subject wise. So basically, we are marching towards a cafeteria approach in education. In cafeteria, when you go, you keep on ordering the dishes, what you want, and depending on the choice of individuals, and there are a large number of dishes in good cafeterias, the same thing will be required. Good colleges should be able to offer large number of courses, and people from different age groups should be able to learn as and when needed. Even on the practical fronts, we find that there is a mismatch in supply and demand. The kind of students community, kind of education we provide, and the kind of students they are needed by especially the industrial sector. In fact, in Pune, few years ago, there was a meeting in one of the large IT company. They had hosted a meeting on industry institute interaction. And the main problem was how to improve the employability of the students community, especially from engineering colleges. Because that was a time when they used to say that more than 80% of the engineers are produced by colleges are unemployable. So one of the professors with little hot temperament, he said, if the students are unemployable, why do you employ them? Don't employ these guys. Go for the people who have never seen the face of the college, employ them and train them the way you want. Let these colleges be closed down. Why do you employ them? And then some discussions took place in a more acceptable mode of each other, because otherwise on such platforms, the people from industry and people from academia remain independent. So there is a mismatch in supply and demand. So finally they said, not that they are not, we can't employ them, but they are not ready to use. We have to spend at least 1 year on them, and then they understand the industrial environment. So that ready to use is a very important point. How can we produce the students who are ready to use? Because today we are living in the era of everything instantaneous. Maggie, ready to eat kind of food, and so many other things. So they're not ready to eat, and we don't have time. The competition does not permit us to spend few years on them to train them and then use them. That was the real problem. Now, another side of teaching community is we are exposed to the latest things. Whatever new research happens, earlier we can come across that. And few colleges can become prime movers rather than the field people first implement something and then we introduce that in our curriculum. Especially I'm talking about the people from science background or people from Of course, I am being from engineering background. My references try to go towards engineering because I don't know what's happening in the arts and commerce field. Maybe the situation could be a little different. But to a larger extent, there is still a mismatch. Our students take time to get adjusted in the environment where they want to work. And NEP 2020 tries to address all these issues. Another side, there's a mushrooming growth of the institutions. So large number of students are having access. I remember when I was a student and I wanted to take admission in engineering college in Marathwada. There was only one engineering college, and that was Government Engineering College, Aurangabad. And now it's Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. That was the time, 1973. So only one engineering college. And there are hardly 8 or 9 engineering colleges in the complete state of Maharashtra. So either you go to Aurangabad, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and then get yourself trained, or go for some arts, commerce, science course in your place. After that, now almost in every district, at least one engineering college is there. Every taluka, there will be one education institute, the college offering degrees in science or any other platform would be there. So things are changing. Next PowerPoint. Ruta, can you shift to the next? Yes. Now, what is the plan? Where the government is so serious about NEP implementation, because this is not the first education policy that we got. We see from Kothari Commission of 1962 onwards. And then 1986 policy improvement with further modifications in 1996. Yes, 96 to 24, we had one single policy. And there was comparatively less change. Of course, in 94, we changed the policy because in 95, the government decided to go for LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. And because of which the kind of competition every sector is going to face would have become intense. Fortunately, the education sector was protected for so many years to face the competition from the international community. But now that also is removed. We all know that at present around 15 universities are permitted to start their campuses in India because this is a large market, so much of the population and young population. So it's a very big, large market. So many foreign universities want to establish their centers here, their universities here. And earlier it was banned, then with a tie-up of the existing organizations, and now they are permitted to start their own universities. How are we going to attract the students to our colleges? One thing is we can be economically competitive, cost-wise. Because already our costs are comparatively lower than the counterparts. But when they come to India, they are not going to employ everyone from their country. They will employ Indian people only. So it's a great opportunity for good teachers to be employed by an international university. So employability of good teachers will further get enhanced. And you can think of a higher salary package out of that. So this is the plus point of it. So there will be relevant opportunity to students as well as the teachers. The gross enrollment ratio last year was, as per the declared figures, 28.4. It would have changed around by 2% in the year 25, and maybe next year we'll get that data. And we plan that by 2035, we want to 50%. If GR could be less than 10% 50 years ago, so over 50 years ago, we would have changed by around 20 to 23%. And in next 15, only 10 years from now, we need to have a shift of 20%. So 20% more students should learn after 10th. That's the policy. How are they going to learn? Then the big question is, where are these people? Where do they go? If only 28.4% of the population who should come to higher education is coming for higher education, where the almost remaining 72% are going? Why are they not coming to our colleges for education purpose? Why our seats are remaining vacant? And then the reply comes that we need to be more suitable to their what they want. A very handful of them might be going abroad and getting the education. That's not a real solution. But masses who do not want to undergo this complete 3 hours or 3 years or 4 years of education after their 10th or 12th, they want some quick and cheaper solutions. So according to CNN report of 15-16, it was less than even 20%. The global average even is 36%. And because we are now we are already the fourth largest economy, and then we are marching towards the third largest economy. And then you remember Abdul Kalam ji said that we will be techno-economic superpower of the world. And we also are being told that yes, Bharat will be Jagat Guru on one day or the other. So these are the two main objectives with which we are marching. Techno-economic superpower of the globe. So we could imagine that by that 2035 or maybe another 15 years after that, 2050, we may be the first in the world as an economic growth, provided we follow the same pattern for another 25 years from now. The pattern of growth that we could catch. And in fact, in that UPI has played an important role, but will not touch upon all these aspects. We'll stick to NEP part of it only. So average global is 36%, but we aim to be 50%. And the global will not change much, hardly 36.7 to maybe around 40%. But there are other countries like UK, has crossed 59%, Japan almost 55%, USA 34%, China was 28%, and they all have, these are little older figures, so they all have crossed. Because I worked on this mass customization in higher education about 3 years before. That is almost from 2017. I was trying to understand how the mass customization in higher education can be implemented. So, and when the COVID was announced, that time many of us had no work. Every day we were in a rush to go to colleges, prepare for the lecture, this and that. Many colleges were not even had gone for online education. They were just trying to find out what could be the proper solution for it. And that was the time we thought of organizing a webinar in a large scale at national level. on education 4.0, because industries have already gone for industry 4.0, where they are using a lot of technologies and remotely operated technologies, which will increase the productivity of the companies. Now, how can we supply the manpower to these organizations? That was the main question. So, from this perspective, what changes could be brought? So, we floated this webinar, Education 4.0. And surprisingly, there were 7,500 registrations because people had nothing to do. And so people found, देखिए तो जो लोग एजुकेशन सेक्टर में है ना वो खाली भी नहीं बैठ सकते. So I think at the end of April, maybe sometime in the month of May or something, or May end or June first week, we floated that webinar. And looking at the number of registrations we started getting, we just put it on some national platforms. And every day my people were saying, sir, registrations are increasing by leaps and bounds. And we found that 7,500 people registered for the course. And at a time, around 3,500, 4,000 were attending. Now, the question was, which platform like Zoom, what we are using now, should be used? Even Zoom was in development. And so one of my faculty members from computer engineering department, he said that, sir, we can go for YouTube live. So all the lectures that will be conducted will be YouTube live. And YouTube can support around 1 lakh people at a time also if needed. So a lot of thinking, trials, errors were done, and then we could cater to the need of that 7,500. And surprisingly, we found that there were, at the end of this, because everything was available on YouTube, because we had used YouTube Live. So all the sessions were available on YouTube. And there was so much hit that we became number one in the world within 10, 15 days, because it was, I think, 3 days or 4 days program, probably 3 days program. And at the end, we became, after 10 days, we became first in the world. Because the number of people who visited this channel were highest amongst all other channels who were talking about Education 4.0. I'm limiting my talk to Education 4.0, not the other channels, maybe from movie or dance, because their hits are in lakhs. But based on this, and continuously for 3 months after that, we were always number one. We were ahead of even the paid channels. That was our finding. So that's the beauty of this online education system. Now we need to have increase in quality as well as the flexibility. We have more number of seats now, and we are supposed to increase it still further, but now this time with quality and flexibility. So how to bring that quality and flexibility, we need to discuss. So Ruta, can we go for the next? And the solution is anytime, anywhere learning for any purpose. How can we address this? Anytime, anywhere learning for any purpose. And the solution is mass customization, right? You had gone for the right. How can we have mass customization? Let's know first little about the mass customization philosophy. Ruta is from Mercedes-Benz, so she would be knowing. Every car of Mercedes-Benz is produced with mass customization philosophy. She was in Mercedes. So the process of delivery of service, or maybe a product, large variety of products, which is to be modified to satisfy specific customer needs at low unit cost. And the customer need of every customer may be different. Every student who comes to our class, his need could be different. His objective could be different. The purpose for which he has joined this program could be different. How can we address all of them simultaneously? I remember when I was a principal of an engineering college in Pune, the CII, Confederation of Indian Industries, had arranged a visit to some of the industries. One was Tata Motors and another was Mercedes-Benz in Pune. So when we went to Mercedes-Benz, the manager who was there on the shop floor, I asked him, what is the unique feature of Mercedes-Benz? Why is the car so much in demand? And then he said, whatever you want, you say it and we will give it that. Means you demand, I want these features in my car and we'll try to incorporate that within the technological perspectives available at a given moment of time. But with highest variety of the facilities, this is mass customization. How can we bring this philosophy in education? But the problem is not at a cost at which Mercedes is purchased by the clients. Very handful of the customers can buy a Mercedes car, but many of them can buy a Maruti car, which has got comparatively less variety. How can we provide maximum variety with minimum price? And if we can do that, then we will be able to implement NEP 2020 to the correct extent what is expected by the people who would have planned for it to the real extent. So it's a system designed for perpetual cost cutting and quality enhancement. Here the importance is understanding what is quality. Quality is how your product or service is fit to use. Means whatever is the customer's need, I should be able to satisfy that. When I am talking to the teachers, here we are treating our students to be the customers. When I say it, there is a thinking going behind that, and that is now we have accepted that education is a tradable commodity. If you want, I will repeat this sentence. Education is a tradable commodity. Earlier it was not. It was supposed to be offered only for free or only with the government support. But having accepted that it is a tradable commodity, our universities are going into countries like Dubai to begin with and establishing their own centers where already universities from different parts of the world is already there. And we have universities like BITS Pilani, Symbiosis. These are two good examples. There were a few who tried, but then they could not be successful much. But compared to with that, these two names are more successful. And they are able to face the competition of the real test of internationalization of education. But now having opened the doors for those international universities in India, it means that shortly we are going to face this competition right at our doorstep. Same thing happened with industries also. In mid-90s, when really the doors were open, it was a threat and opportunity also that helped many of our industries to become multinational or become the leaders in the field. And today is the time for the education sector. Can the university from Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar become and start competing with Harvard? How? That is the idea. When the doors are open and we have been given something like this. So NEP 2020 would expect that same thing for the teachers. Instead of getting a salary, I hope you are getting 7th pay with full salary. So instead of getting a salary between 1.5 to 3.5 lakhs per month, assuming that you are getting 7th pay as per government DA, can you multiply this income by 10 by remaining in teaching profession? If some young professor is interested, then maybe that this mass philosophy of mass customization is useful to you. I hope the listeners are with me on this note. So basically, it's a combination of marketing and manufacturing technique that combines flexibility and personalization of custom made products with low unit cost. Low unit cost is there in mass production. So when we say, I have worked in private colleges, engineering colleges for almost 20 years. So we used to say that if the intake is less than 60, the things are not viable. If the intake per division is 60, then economically that college becomes viable. That is nothing but the philosophy of mass production. I'm having 60 students, we may say a BE computer engineering class, and I'm teaching same thing to all 60. Hardly any elective would be different, only the project of final year would be different. All other theory subjects, practicals are same for everyone. Now NEP says this is not the way to go ahead. Let every student in the class design a course that he or she wants to take. So there is a need of great counselors who will be able to help them to design a course if someone is coming to you for 3 or 4 years. Along with that person, there could be another guy who is sitting in the class, maybe online or offline mode. So every class will become hybrid mode. We all have practiced this in the another phase of COVID, where few students were coming to college, few teachers were coming to college, and remaining teachers were teaching from home, and remaining students were learning from home. So I remember we had a combination of classes where either the teacher is teaching from home or college, and few students are learning by sitting in the class. The same class, same teaching at the simultaneously is available to the other students who are sitting at home. This was, I think, around 2021. Before 22, everything was opened back. So we have practiced all these things to some extent. Now the question is, someone with 20 years of experience in the field has come to my class only to learn 10 hours of my teaching. Someone has come to learn 30, 40 hours of my teaching. And here, my teaching methodology, managing the institutions, the management system, everything needs a change. So, next PowerPoint. It's the process of production of goods and services tailored to suit the needs of customers in mass market. That is mass customization. Right now, there are 60 students in my class. How can I teach to 1,000 students? How can there be 1,000 students in my class? Now, if there are going to be 1,000 students in my class, there could be 100 who are undergoing a regular training. But there could be others who are coming only for small part. Someone is working in the industry. I'm talking maybe for the science or engineering teachers. And he has come across certain problems. He wants solution only to that. Can our education sector give that solution, or we all presently what industries are doing? They are arranging a training for that person on their with their organization within their system only. So how that training market we can capture by education sector, and only some kind of training which is completely you can say of such a nature that they don't want others to know it, very unique, very specialized for them only, that may be taken place. So whatever kind of training the industries are offering to their own employees, can I get 80% of that business to my college? When the answer will be yes, we are going for NEP 2020. Next, PowerPoint. So when I try to implement that in my method, it is the institutional level method. It is not limited to a single teacher, but the whole of the institute, because the complete management practices will have to change. The governing systems will have to undergo change. And we'll have to redesign the structure and process of learning. So there is a need of having a sea change, and that's the reason many times we feel something very unsuitable for us has been implemented on us. And not only that, but the kind of training we are undergoing means, I think this is the 25th training program from BAMU. And like this, there are many programs happening everywhere. Last week, I was in Barshi offering a course, similar education meet. How can we implement the NEP 2020? Same issue. So everyone is worried about it. And I felt when NEP was announced, that time I came across the content. I found that what I was talking about, what changes are required to be there in the education pattern, some of them were addressed in NEP 2020. I shared with some of my friends and colleagues that what we discussed that day in the webinar on Education 4.0, we find that that is there, part of that. Some small components of that are seen in NEP 2020. I was personally very happy that yes, what I was thinking, the government is also now thinking in the same lines. So integration of systems by taking functions as they are. Our function is to teach well the students to grow, maybe theory and practice and all these things. How can we integrate those systems? Sometimes some of us do offer a program for a day or two for the field people also, where we expect them to come to colleges, learn something new. Or when I just talk to always our counterparts in engineering colleges that why do we go to industry only with a begging bowl in hand? Industry, हमको कुछ offer करो. हमको बताओ what kind of subjects we should teach. be on our board of studies, be on our academic committee, guide us. Why can't you go and say, this is something you need and I can offer you? When the relationship lasts longer, the relationship lasts longer when the relationship is based on give and take policy. I am useful for you and you are useful for me. That relationship will last longer. If only you are useful to me, I am not contributing anything to your functions that you want to perform, then you will always feel that keeping in touch with me is a burden. I was talking to the one of the very senior director of one of the big industrial sector in India. I said that why don't you offer some consultancy assignments to the engineering college teachers? Why you go to only IITs? He said, first thing, मैं जब IIT में जाता हूँ ना तो वहाँ का प्रोफेसर कार तक मुझे छोड़ने आता है. उसका कोई ना कोई स्टूडेंट मुझे गेट से अंदर ले जाता है, मुझे गाइड करता है, तो मेरा वेलकमिंग अब IIT में अच्छा हो जाता है. जब हम बातें करते हैं तो आई फाइंड कि वो ऐसा कुछ रिसर्च कर रहा है जो मुझे मेरे लिए यूजफुल है. मैं जब नॉर्मल इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में जाता हूँ, इंक्लूडिंग द गवर्नमेंट इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस, मेरे ये ध्यान में आता है कि मेरी जो जरूरत है वो तो उस पर सामने वाले प्रोफेसर को कुछ पता ही नहीं है. फर्स्ट थिंग, इफ आई गो टू हिम, he is not in a mood to talk to me. One of the most important reason is he is not in a mood to talk to me because he doesn't have a solution for me. So he feels कि अरे ये आएगा और मुझे बोलेगा अरे तुम तो बहुत कच्चे खिलाड़ी हो. Something like this in education sector also. So it's better I go to IIT. Once we had opportunity to understand the systems of administration in IIT, Maharashtra government had organized that training for 15 faculty members to understand what are the systems of IIT. And there we came to know that their funding was blocked long back for 1987. So whatever was the budget of 1987, they blocked it. We attended this in 2002, 2003, and they said 15 साल से हमें ज़्यादा पैसा नहीं मिला है. Thanks for that. And every IIT has got a different model of earning money. Thank you for that, because उसकी वजह से we went to industries. We understood what are the industrial problems, and now we know that our research, how it can be application oriented and what is needed by the industry. And with that, we are earning more than what we were getting from the government earlier. Can our other education institutions also will be suitable for the industry or any other sector which is concerned with your field? When that will happen, money will start flowing to us. Why do we depend on government only for our salaries? How many of us can earn out of the projects for which we can be paid by someone in the market? Or maybe how many of us would have attracted the funds from different government agencies, research grants from various government agencies to the extent of few crores? When the reply is yes, our employability as a teacher is good, because no college would like such a teacher who gets money to that organization to leave the organization. So we'll have to make some fundamental change in the way we work. Okay. Now, what could be the methodologies we can follow in mass customization? So next point. It's online. Of course, we are knowing. Maybe distance mode, not only online, but distance mode, where a recorded lecture is available. Some of you would have seen NPTEL, Coursera, Udemy program courses. I'm not aware about the other colleges, but engineering colleges, it is made mandatory now. So last week I was in Nashik and our role was to, the management wanted me to take the interview of every faculty member in the institute and then submit a report. What is the progress? How it is that person is suitable to the institute where he is working. And our one of the questions was, which course in distance mode you have completed? So 2-3 years back when we went there, the reply was, oh, no, we have not done anything. But this year, all the teachers were knowing some committee is going to come and they're going to ask us this question. So everyone had at least 1 hour or 2 courses of Udemy and Coursera. Then naturally our next question was, have you offered a course on Udemy or Coursera? And surprisingly, out of 100, 5 teachers said yes. We have offered a course and around 4,000 to 5,000 people have registered for our course. Because that change occurred because that management thought of all these things 3 years before or 5 years before. And there was one teacher who said, my course is a paid course. I earned around 3-4 lakhs of rupees in last 1 year's time, addition to my salary. And then maybe that 80% the management gives me and 20% is kept by the management because I offer it as a professor of this college. It means if he has earned 3 lakhs of rupees, 80% he got. So in 1 year, 2,40,000 he has earned out of one course on Udemy platform. We all can do it. Only thing is that we'll have to change our way of thinking and be prepared. Some of you will be already doing it. I'm finding that people are not giving any comments today, but some of you could be already on the Udemy platforms or Coursera platform or any other platform, or you would have offered some courses for Government of India where you might not be earning, but your utility is there. How many papers or patents published by you or granted to you are used by industrial sector? Are they ready to pay us for that? So all these things will have to be questioned. When we will be able to have a positive reply to all these questions, then implementation of NEP 2020 is a part of our game. And we can even go ahead a step ahead of that. Project-based education, learning by doing. So online and face-to-face combination we can have. With that, someone from a distance, very distant, he has taken your course by sitting in some other place, and you say, come for 3 days. Remaining, say, 90% of the course you complete on the online mode. But something face-to-face is required so that you can learn better. So face-to-face has its own importance. When I gave you an example of online education Berlin 2007, a question was asked, what should be the combination of face-to-face education and online mode, especially for the undergraduate education. And one of the final decision which came as a recommendation of that conference was 40-60. Let's not cross more than 40% for undergraduate education, for online education. 60% should be face-to-face because there the student's personality is built up by the teacher. But in post-graduation, it could be almost 80-20. Let 80% be online. The personality already is matured and only 20% face-to-face. We are talking about that combination of online and face-to-face. How shall we design our courses to suit to the needs of various people? Next. So these are some of the techniques, not limited to only this. MOOCs, flipped classroom, you would be using it. And there are large number of open courseware, but MIT open courseware is very good. Even for psychology, they offer a program, though it's an engineering institution, the best in the world. Their brain and cognitive science department offers courses in psychology also. And surprisingly, the young generation is aware about this. My granddaughter, who is in 10th standard, she was asking me, Dadaji, I want to go to MIT and learn psychology. I said, how come MIT has started teaching psychology? It's an engineering institution. She said, I don't know, but there are courses on psychology. I have seen it on. Then I checked, how come that MIT is teaching psychology? And we can realize that brain and cognitive science department is touching upon certain aspects of psychology under brain and cognitive science, and then becomes a program on psychology. It means the courses are interdependent now. You are through brain and cognitive science, what you are doing? You are developing advanced systems in artificial intelligence. And what is that you are offering? A course in psychology. This is possible with the way we all are trying to develop now. There are NPTEL platforms from Government of India, Virtual Lab, Sakshat is from Government of India. Then there could be course on elicitation. Getting reaction from someone. You behave very nicely or very wrong way with someone in the class, see the behavior, use that behavior for further education. I tested this long back once in the class when I was teaching at AGS Nanded. I said, चलो सब बच्चों जरा बाहर जाके घूम के आओ, अपने बिल्डिंग के बाहर जो गार्डन है ना वहां 5 मिनट घूम के आओ. They were surprised कि अरे टीचर बोल रहे जाओ गार्डन में घूम के आओ 5 मिनट, 5 मिनट में वापिस आना है. Everyone came back. Then I started asking. This is elicitation. What have you seen in the garden? And how is the connection between what you have seen in the garden with the subject that we are discussing? Few of the students could answer. Someone said, I saw the trees. Someone said, I saw the water cooler kept near the garden. मुझे प्यास लगी थी तो मैं पानी भी पी के आ गया सर. And many people, different people give different answers. So here, out of reaction, sometimes we can teach in the class. Because that is something they own. The whole class owns it. And the class was, I was teaching creativity and innovations in that class. So I thought that चलो garden में घूम के आओ फिर देखते हैं creativity कैसे बात change होती है. Because you are reacting to something. And process flexibility. You take admission, 70% of attendance is mandatory. All these things will have to undergo the flexibility. I was talking to one of the very senior professors who would be elder to me by at least 20, 25 years. I don't know whether he is there or alive or not. He had undergone some 1-year training in UK in 90s. No, even earlier, because he told us in 1984, 85, 83, 84. So somewhere in 70s, he had gone to UK for a course. He used to say कि कभी-कभी हमारा क्लास है ना ऐसा होता था कि at a time I had to be in 2 different classes. I mean, that will be the problem for our timetable. So we were given a tape recorder. So हम एक क्लास में टेप रिकॉर्डर रख के आ जाते थे, दूसरे क्लास में खुद जाके बैठते थे और क्लास अटेंड करते थे. घर आने के बाद वो टेप रिकॉर्डर में टीचर ने क्या बोला है पूरा सुनते थे. That was a crude technology. Even the UK based university had practiced, say 40 years before. That if you can't attend the class, keep your tape recorder and then listen to that. So this kind of process flexibility will be required to be implemented. Not that every student is attentive in my class right when I am teaching. Someone can, my all lectures are recorded. And then these recorded lectures are available for those who could not attend the class for any reason. Why he or she be deprived of attending? And when he or she has got any query, I can be approached through face-to-face or again online media. And then I can try to solve that query. The way a student is asking you a question, that person will see your recorded version and then come back to you. So all these things we'll have to implement, start implementing. After COVID, many of us would have forgotten the online education system. Because now our normal education is 100% offline mode. Few courses our students might be taking from the platforms like NPTEL or anything else. And some of the courses our students are taking, which is not a part of curriculum, because the curriculum is not addressing his needs. So he's learning something somewhere other than the class. A boy or girl is interested in Bharatnatyam, classical dance, some classical music, or theater. But at the same time, he want to become an engineer or he want to learn science. How am I going to offer this combination in the college? And why it's essential that process flexibility? Why it's essential that everything should be taught in college itself? I may have tie-up with many other organizations where he or she can learn and I can offer the credit. Or I need not offer the credit now. It will go in academic bank of credit. So ABC will take care of that. What I am teaching, only those credits will go in the student's credit from college side. Remaining credits he can earn from multiple sources. And having acquired sufficient number of credit, he can exchange it for a degree or diploma. So NEP is already telling us about all these things. How are we going to be prepared for this? And this time it is forceful. You must do it, because we know otherwise the education sector of this country will never match with the international standards. Our industries are becoming multinationals. Why can't our education institutes become multinational? If they have to be multinational, they have to grow, they have to earn a lot of money for themselves and their teachers and the government. Then these education institutes have to undergo these changes. That's the reason so many programs are there. अभी तो शांति से बता रहे हैं, कुछ दिन के बाद शायद अब्दुल सर हमें बता सकते हैं कि भाई ये शांति भी कम कम होते जाएगी. ये नहीं किया है, चलो you are not required. Something like this. Let's avoid this situation for ourselves as an individual and adopt these changes. Be prepared to accept these changes as early as possible in our life. Otherwise, we'll have to leave the teaching profession also. Next, the infrastructural logistics required is collaborative learning, where 10 students are learning together simultaneously. And these days, that collaborative learning need not be कि चलो 10 बच्चे एक जगह बैठो और डिस्कस करके बाद में मुझे बताना कि क्या what you all learn. 10 students are in the 10 different parts of the country or world. And they are working together. So as an experiment, one of the engineer who worked in Australia for a longer time, also in European countries, came back to India, and in Pune he started a business of collaborative learning. Because I was personally trying to understand what all changes are required to be done in education, because that time NEP was not there. But I was convinced for myself that these changes are needed for the education sector. So when he approached me, I said, yes, I am going to talk to my management and find out if they can go for the subscription of your services. And fortunately, the cost was about 3 lakh per annum. And my management said, hey, chalo, explain karke dekho, aapki jo idea hai. So they sanctioned me 3 lakhs of rupees. And I started providing that platform. The name of the platform was VICSAT. But the VICSAT word had come from Marathi philosophy, Vikaste, Viksat Jane. So from this, he had created a platform, VICSAT. And surprising, I was working in Mumbai at that time. And when he gave me a 3 months presentation, how the collaborative learning is taking place, he said, surprisingly, sir, your teachers are engaged in the platform almost to the extent students are engaged. This is not happening in the other colleges where I am implementing this platform. I said one of the reasons is most of my teachers are in the age group of 25 to 35. That's the reason they are taking interest in these new things when it is available to them. He said, I am finding that many teachers are available on the platform between 20 to 12. I said, yes, हमारी लेडी टीचर्स है, खाना पीना सब होने के बाद 2 घंटे ऐसे भी तो कुछ तो देखना ही है, तो प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके बैठिए. And the students round the clock were available. So he used the word, मुंबई के बारे में कहा जाता है, city never sleeps. I am observing this. The students, someone is always, कोई रात में 12 बजे तक जाग रहा है, कोई 12 से 3 आके बैठ रहा है, कोई 3 बजे ज्वाइन हो रहा है, कोई 5 बजे ज्वाइन हो रहा है, कोई दिन में ज्वाइन हो रहा है, कोई रात में ज्वाइन हो रहा है, and the collaborative learning is taking place. This collaborative learning was part of our Gurukul system. Here comes the importance of IKS. You know, Macaulay wrote to British Parliament in 1836. That letter is very popular, famous. Some of you would have read it. He said that unless we make sure that we crush this education system of this country, we'll never be able to rule this country. The first thing he recommended to British Parliament was crush the education system of India, that is Gurukul system, which was based on collaborative learning. He went to one of the Gurukuls where 10 students were learning together and there was no teacher. He asked a question. Don't you think that you will make mistakes when there is no teacher to guide you? One student replied, if we study alone, we may go wrong. When we are studying together, there are very few chances that we will go wrong. This captured the attention of Lord Macaulay. He said, अगर ये लोग ऐसे पर हिसाब से पढ़ते हैं, कोलैबोरेटिव लर्निंग यूज करते हैं, तो इन पे तो हम कभी राज नहीं कर पाएंगे. He wrote to British Parliament, kill this education system. And strategically, they were successful in doing that. We are part of that now, today. Do you want to go back to your original glory, or do you want to continue in the slave manner? We are mentally slaves to the system that was given to us by killing our education pattern. Do you want to continue with that, and how long? NEP 2020 recommends that yes, we will go back to our original glory, and that glory comes out of education. And one of the most important component of that is collaborative learning. That's why I spent so much time on this. Another is adaptive. How much I am adaptable to the needs of different people. How much I can be transparent. Our systems are transparent. And how much these days, because we are taking use of the online education, open digital learning materials. They would have been prepared by anyone else in any part of the world. How much of that I can implement that in my class? It is already given open. Means it's not protected knowledge. Can I make use of that? For example, now we're just sitting for a dinner in a restaurant, and again my granddaughter asked me, Dadaji, वो करना है. बोले एक काम करते हैं, आई एम ए मेंबर ऑफ MIT ओपन कोर्सवेयर, देखते हैं तेरे साइकोलॉजी का कुछ है क्या वहाँ पे. तो हम वहीं बैठे बैठे, बाय द टाइम आवर फूड केम, वी जस्ट सॉ एंड वी फाउंड दैट देयर वर फ्यू कोर्सेज. सो इंट्रोडक्शन टू साइकोलॉजी, शी सेड आई एम रजिस्टरिंग फॉर दिस कोर्स फ्रॉम 10th standard. This is what our students community want. That and 10th standard she knows कि मुझे psychology में आगे कुछ करना है. And many of the children are knowing about it now. They are exposed to a lot of material. They need slight guidance from us. And how can we need to be prepared to give that. And we will have to provide more learning pathways. Not only one-way communication. I am talking and you are listening. More pathways. You are talking, I am listening. Together we are learning. Together we are creating something new. For example, we ask our teachers, how many patents are with your students? Are you doing the research alone and going for patent, or with your own students community? There the teacher and student are learning together, developing something together. How many publications you have with your students? PhD में तो हम करते हैं, but at undergraduate level also. Can we have that? So these are different pathways of learning. And various pathways of learning will have to be adapted, will have to be designed by a respective teacher, and teacher will have to be flexible enough. There should be not only autonomy to college, but autonomy to the teacher. Every teacher should be autonomous. And NEP says, yes, you are autonomous. Implement the way you want. Do the experimentation the way you want. Learn from that. Tell to the whole world. This is a new method I had tried to adopt in my classroom teaching, and it works better. Something like this. Next point. Next PPT. Why? Why do we need to do all these things? Because learners who are going to come to us are going to be heterogeneous in terms of their educational background, age, income level, learning experience, aspirations. So my teaching need to address all these things. Our secretary who sent me to Berlin, he was saying, I am undergoing an executive MBA program in Harvard. We are 160 students in that class from different parts of the world. We are all entrepreneurs, industrialists, and 30 students from our class own a corporate jet. One corporate jet costs minimum 3 million US dollars. And 30 of them, they own it. Minimum who can afford 300 million US dollars for personal transportation from one country to another. That is owning a corporate jet. They say there are about 10 people who own a corporate jet in India also now. So we need to offer our course to the people of this kind, not those who own the corporate jet, but with the varying requirements. The person who is owning a corporate jet, his idea of taking a course is different because he is already at a different level in the business. Whereas someone who owns only a Mercedes-Benz, his idea of learning is different because he wants to grow from 1,000 crore business to 10,000 crore business. And there is another guy who want to grow from 1 lakh crore to 5 lakh crore. These are the kind of people. I'm talking about that class, specific class which he was referring. So people with various background and various needs are going to come. And then there is increasing demand for more individual learning paths, which we'll have to offer them. And diversity of the student body is also growing fast. And it will grow fast. When the nation will go for 50% GER ratio, this diversity will be far enough. So we'll have to offer a course to this diversified group of students in our class. Next, PowerPoint. We need to deliver teaching in variety of technical formats, context, and variety of target groups. So our teaching learning pattern needs a change. Creating and learning material needs lot of craftsmanship. That is important. They say content is the king. So the content that we are offering should be original. Right now we can just read from the textbook and teach in the class. And we have some of the teachers who carry that textbook to the class and read it. This kind of teachers will not have place in the system that we are talking. Today we are going to show a video, and I was asking Ruta in the morning, what is the legal aspect of this video? Shall we be allowed to show it to the community? Because ये तो ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म पे आज हम बताने वाले हैं. एंड नॉट ओनली दैट, ये जो वीडियो हम बताने वाले हैं ये रिकॉर्ड भी हो सकता है. सो वेदर वी विल फेस टुमारो, आपको और मुझे किसी से समन्स मिल जाएंगे क्या? यू हैव ब्रोकन द ई लॉज. इससे एक काम करते हैं, जिसका वीडियो उसका नाम डाल देते हैं. जिसका वीडियो वी से दिस इज एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर द education purpose, no commercial interest. I'm not going to sell that knowledge to you today. So ये सब देखना बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है हमारे लिए. Please go to the next PowerPoint. Next. So this is just in time. People will come for just in time learning. I should be able to offer just in time teaching. वो आएगा 10 घंटे पढ़ के निकल जाएगा और आप कहोगे मेरे पास 25,000 स्टूडेंट है, तो एक स्टूडेंट मेरे पास सिर्फ 10 घंटे के लिए आया था, दूसरा 100 घंटे के लिए आया था. समथिंग ऑफ दिस काइंड. सो ऑन सप्लाई साइड वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन लर्निंग मटेरियल, लर्निंग सर्विसेज एंड टीचिंग एफर्ट्स. On demand side, we'll have to observe what is the learner's goal of coming to my class and what is the societal need. कोई कहेगा मुझे ना बहुत अच्छा तरह से चोरी करने सीखना है. I'm not going to teach that in my class because it is not a societal need. I want to learn terrorism. No, I'm not there for teaching you terrorism because that's not a real societal need. So this part also will have to be kept in mind. Next part. How can we do this? So we need an exposure to artificial intelligence. I hope some of our teachers might have already trying to see different parts of artificial intelligence. So even if you're not from engineering background, still you might be hearing about AI. Your students may saying AI will snatch away my job. My only student. AI will snatch away my job also as a teacher. AI will become the teachers. There are schools who are offering AI teaching methodologies. Many schools have not started implementing AI in their teaching learning process, because they know without that we can't exist. So what is AI? In the broadest sense, it's a simulation of human intelligence process. Let the computer work how the human brain works. That is nothing but AI. In 1960s, Professor Edward de Bono came with the idea of neurons in our brains. And he said, with the help of our five senses, we get the experiences, and these experiences develop our perceptions, and these perceptions are responsible for our responses. These become a base of artificial intelligence. How can we convert that into an algorithm which can be used by a computer, and then it can process the things faster than me as the human being, faster than the human being? That is AI. And we'll have to implement these AI systems in our teaching learning process. You would have heard these names, even if you are not from engineering community. Machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. Machine learning is a subset of AI focusing on designing specific systems which can make and learn decisions and predictions based on data. That will be very important. This part was, when I was talking to the group of IT managers from Central Bank of India, because all the banks have to implement AI in their IT systems now. So they were trying to train their IT managers. So I had an AI expert with me, and then I was talking about the philosophy of AI. Because many of them were not basically computer engineers, so they were not exposed to AI. Of course, they had learned some computer programs, and after that they were appointed as IT managers. And they said that we have about 143 IT managers in the country, and this is a lot of 43. So when I was talking to them, we were talking to them about the basic fundamental and the application part my counter speaker was talking about. Then deep learning is a subset of machine learning, is a part of machine learning. I hope Ruta will agree with me because she is a computer engineer. That uses specific set of algorithms known as neural networks, often with many layers. We also have layers in our brain. Some of the perceptions are very strong. Maybe that because it is online and I'm not able to talk to everyone here. So we'll not be, maybe that I have to only talk to you what, because otherwise we would have given you some of the exercises. At least I will show it to you. Then another part, next part of this. So AI helps the managers. You are using AI as a manager, remember now, to anticipate the customer behavior. Maybe that I can have a complete data of that student before he comes to me, what kind of websites he visits, what kind of shopping he does, what kind of courses he has already undertaken, and what was his score in those courses. And based on that, I know how the behavior of that, because when we say behave, the students community who will come to us is heterogeneous. There I need to make use of AI systems to understand the behavior pattern of different people in my class. And then what is the trend? What is so we will try to predict that trend also. Next, the trends. Then track the purchase history. In our case, it will be the courses. What courses you undergone, what ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स यू हैव विजिटेड, सो पूरी उसकी कुंडली हमारे सामने आ जाएगी विद द हेल्प ऑफ एआई। उसने आज तक पिछले 5 साल में 3 साल में क्या क्या किया है, एंड देन बेस्ड ऑन दैट वी कैन रिकमेंड टू हिम दैट यू प्रोबेबली आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन these websites, these platforms, these things. So probably you can have this combination of courses. So our courses, instead of in the form of 40 hours of a course, it could be a capsule of 10 hours or course of 5 hours. Some of you would be attending the courses on Coursera or Udemy. The teacher teaches for 3 to 10 minutes. Immediately there is a question, because those questions will clarify your doubts. Some other reading material will be provided to you simultaneously, and you will be asked and read this, and then you are go for the next class. Next class is already there in the system. He is not teaching us complete online. He is already there. He says before you go and open that video, itana pehle prerequisite complete kar lo. Something like this. And first you will be asked what is the objective for you to take this course. And according to that objective, the course they will try to tailor-made a program for you, or they will try to recommend combination of courses to you. So we in colleges will have to do that. Then understanding the browsing pattern, as I mentioned, predict future preferences. So we'll have to predict the future preferences and prepare ourselves to satisfy those demands. The students who are in 10th standard, when they come to undergraduate level, what will be their preferences? How am I going to offer that? We say Gen Z problem, how to handle that. And next gen is already again different, because these children are exposed to lot of information right from the day they understand the things. A 6 months old child eats food by observing something in the computer, mobile phone. Now, if it is happens, yes, negative side is there, but the positive side is he is exposed to information. He is not gathering information only from the classroom. He is gathering information every minute from different methods. And I will have to keep in mind all these things and then offer my course and implement mass customization in education. So AI will become indispensable part of our education system. What type of AI we will discuss? We'll see that video. Next PowerPoint. Yes. Okay. Something is wrong.
Sir, we'll view the video now.
Yeah, please go for it. So you will be shown a video now. Is it agentic AI? So that set of AI will be useful to us. And now it is latest in AI. So I thought that let me expose our audience to that AI. Please show the video. Yeah. You can start the video also. Hope. Any difficulty in that? Oh, connection is started. Yeah. Can you synchronize your video with this system?
Yes, sir, I'm trying to.
Okay. Yeah, it takes time. And first time that we are trying to show this kind of video, because this concept agentic AI has come, I don't think more than 6 months ago. Scientists might be working on that. So I thought that we can show our audience that Hope the organizers are okay with that. But this is going to be an AI system which is more personalized in nature. Okay, by the time it takes the synchronization takes place, we'll speak on. I'll keep on speaking or something else. Sound is required. Sound is not there. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Is it audible? Sir, if you could, I have just messaged you. Could you please make the other account co-host, please?
Me or to the admin. Sound is muted for us. Admin, can you help? Anyway, we will then share this link.
Sir, I have shared it in the group.
Yeah. Okay. Then we will go back. Anyway, these are the technical problems we always face. So we'll go to the PowerPoint. So this agentic AI deal with the personalized way of working. So it's a personalized way of working for the artificial intelligence. Can you start the PowerPoint? Rutaji, can you start the PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go back. So AI will try to analyze the data in real-time form, and we will have to understand who is attending my class with what purpose, and an intelligent way of analysis will also be required. Whether someone is trying to have a misuse of my teaching, misuse of my class, so that all AI will support us by analyze the data in real-time format, and then identify, mitigate the risk before it is escalated to a higher level. So, and the students, when they are exposed to this thing, naturally they'll be able to use it for their requirement also once they go in the field. Okay. And then it can online identify and mitigate the systems, track the fraudulent activities, make and cybersecurity breaches, and report to you. Because all these things, once you are online, and if you say that your students' community is going to be from all different parts of the world, then all these things will have to be part and parcel of my class. So maybe that I will have to understand on that. And then next PowerPoint. Okay. So this is what is the importance of AI. Now the next part is, how do I develop myself? How can, as an individual, as a professional, I achieve personal well-being and professional growth simultaneously? And here is the importance of IKS. We are talking to some of the colleges. We are recommending that you can have a center of excellence in studies in IKS for contemporary issues that the society is facing, along with holistic development of the people or students community. Because holistic development of students community is also something which NEP recommends. Can I make use of IKS, some system from IKS, and go for it? So when we say personal well-being, that personal well-being comes with physical health, mental health, emotional health for stress management, then social health, how are we connected, networking skills, then spiritual health. Spirituality is how well am I connected with spirituality, means how best I am doing my duties properly. Then career wellness, how well I am functioning, how well the career that I have chosen suits me, and how the life satisfaction for me is enhanced. So answering all these questions will help me to go for holistic development of students community, which will help them to carve out their career path in life. So we are talking to you that some of you can think of, can contact me back, or Ruta, or maybe you can contact the organizers who can give our contact numbers. We recommend you that you establish a center of studies in IKS if you are interested in your organization for the holistic development of the people. I had received a grant of rupees 5 lakhs from AICT, which is the equivalent body for engineering education from like UGC, in the year 1997. That time we were not talking about IKS or Vedic philosophies, so we had to use different terminologies. But what was in my mind is nothing but IKS, though I didn't know the word IKS. And fortunately, I was lucky that to get the funding from Government of India. So we worked on that. And last year, there's one university, Nikmar University in Pune, have again funded them. And we found Ruta is a part of that research. The research that we did in VIT Pune, VIT University of Pune, there we found that the techniques we are talking about based on Vedic philosophy are adding to the life satisfaction irrespective of financial strata by about 20%. So here is a solution, proven solution. We are now talking with a database of almost 300 cases that yes, it works. It helps to enhance the life satisfaction of the individuals. So maybe that because of that, Nikmar University funded this research. So maybe we can think of implementing that kind of center in our institutions, and we can work together. We can provide the head holding services for the teachers and the institutions who want to go for it. And then you will find that recently, in the month of May, DST floated a requirement saying that if you want to start and establish a center of excellence in IKS with proven capability that you can do that, and you can provide a space of 5,000 square feet, DST will give you 3 crores rupee, Indian rupees, to establish that center and offer training not only to the students community but even the professionals from the outside world. Purpose is to enhance the life satisfaction. So some of you are interested, maybe that it can be worked upon together. Next PowerPoint. So I will recommend that we have shared the link because technical issues, we could not start the audio of that video. But you please use that link, go to YouTube and see the video which talks about how this agentic AI is different from the AI systems which are already existing. And when I was trying to understand it for myself in the last 1 month, I realized that yes, it is useful for teaching community because every student is different, individual. How can my teaching be suitable to him or her? So based on that, the answer is agentic AI. There was AI, then generative AI, and now agentic AI. So today we are living in the era of agentic AI. Maybe that you can also make use of that. Yes. You can think of seeing how agentic AI works. And maybe that you can think of implementing that in your managing the class system. Once you are facing that implementation of NEP to its fullest extent, that time it will be useful to us. So professional growth is a process of developing new skills and experiences to improve your career and current job. So we say that our students should be imbibed with the quality of learning to learn. So that throughout their life, lifelong learning, throughout their life, they acquire the skill of learning to learn on their own. And then the chances of losing the job for them will be different, very low. So we can implement that learning to learn skill through this concept of professional growth. So developing the skill of lifelong learning, networking, meaningful networking, and need-based training. He should also understand what is his need, and then it's based on the need-based training. So these are certain things which people should learn from our education system. I have a question to the audience here. Do you think this is the right way? Lifelong learning, meaningful networking, need-based training. You can put it in comments so that we will understand. I hope you are not just logged in and left their systems. Even if you are muted, doesn't matter. You can put it in the chat box so that we will understand what you are thinking about us. Am I talking something useful to you, or is all nonsense in your opinion? Some of you can put it in the chat box so that we'll get a feedback from you. Online feedback. आप बाद में तो सर को फीडबैक देंगे लेक्चर काम का है या नहीं, बट अभी मुझे थोड़ा आइडिया आएगा कि भाई मैं जो बात कर रहा हूँ, इज इट यूजफुल टू द पीपल और नॉट. And then, yes, useful. Thank you, Sarjay Rao sir. Okay, so we are getting some feedback. Next PowerPoint. Thank you that you have started responding. So that then we are shifting from passive learning to active learning more. Because when I'm talking to you about the IKS and its use for holistic development of the students, the active learning is also taking place. Now, IKS is a big, very large ocean kind of thing. I am talking only on that part which deals with career planning and the personality development of the students from here. So there is it is said in Atharva Veda, Divancharoha, Prithvincharoha, Rashtrancharoha, Dravidancharoha, Prajancharoha, Amrutancharoha, Rohitena Tanvam Samprurishasva. How should be the growth of our people? Even we individuals as well as our students. Let sky be the limit of your growth. This is what IKS says. It has never asked the people to leave everything and go to Himalayas. IKS was never to produce monks, it was to produce achievers in the society. And this part of Atharvaveda confirms that. Let sky be the limit of your growth. Conquer the whole earth. Create your own nation. Develop the right people. Be on the path of spiritual growth also. So IKS tells us, aspire to success, but don't cling to it. Here we talk more about Karma Yoga and how can we produce achievers from our classrooms. So our remaining part of the discussions will be how to create the achievers from our program. You would have heard about the concept of Yoga Kshemam Vyam. कि भाई भगवान कह रहे हैं कि आपका योगक्षेम मैं संभालूंगा. I have an audio for that, but I don't think I'll be able to share that with you because. So, in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is said that I will take care of your yogakshema. I will take care of your well-being, your growth. And in 18th chapter, next PowerPoint, in 18th chapter, it tells the method of what you do so that I will take care of your yogakshema. And the gist of that is available here in the 18th chapter. It says, Yajnadana tapak karma na tyajam karyamevatat. Yajnadana tapak karma pavanani manishna. So we did a research to understand in 1994, to be very specific, what drives the people. Some people are following this lifestyle. So what drives them to follow it? Are they getting some benefit? Unless someone is getting a benefit, why should I follow something? Unless you feel that you are getting some benefit out of this lecture, why should you attend this lecture? Otherwise, you would have just given the attendance and left. सर अगर मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं तो आप कहीं घूम के आ जाते हो. Let your laptop or mobile only learn, not you. You will sit provided you feel that yes, it is useful to you. So if this is true, if this is true, person, if he's following this, some lifestyle recommended in this, he must be getting some benefit in the life. Maybe that nutshell he is not able to tell you. So we adopted a system of market research, collected the data of 150 people who were following this, applied a technique of data science or big data, that is factor analysis. And the result of factor analysis, the results that we got were telling us that, thank you, sir, Mathur sir. The result were telling us improve ability to practice karma yoga, that is improved duty and time consciousness, and reduction in result and benefit orientation. The results are a part of and parcel of what we do. You know, Newton's third law, actions and reactions are equal and opposite. If your actions are good, reactions are going to be good. And those reactions in holistic development are peace and prosperity, which is said as Abhyudaya and Nishrayas in IKS. So Abhyudaya and Nishrayas or peace and prosperity you can enjoy simultaneously by following the techniques of this part of Bhagavad Gita, along with a spiritual gain and a grace where you are having a connect. You feel your grace when you are connected with the supreme power of the universe. And better the connection with the supreme power of the universe, less will be the threat that you will observe in your profession from artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence cannot have connect with the supreme power. But you as an individual with the help of feelings and mind can have it. So what AI has done, it is taking away the role of brain, but it can't take away the role of mind from that you. So role of mind can get enhanced when you get the connect with the supreme power, and that comes to you in the form of grace. This is what uh, we could see in that study, and this study became a backbone for the further research proposal that I submitted to Government of India, and I got rupees 5 lakhs in 1997 for developing enterprising personality among the students community, and also develop the entrepreneurs in the society, how the society can become entrepreneurial. So that was an issue we were trying to answer in the study that funding had come from AICT. So how it works, how we can implement that in my course, let's see that. And maybe some of you can think of establishing a center for studies, and we can work together to develop this subject to a still better extent. So next PowerPoint. The earlier name we gave it as was ICSA. So I stand for Institute for Studies in Vedic Science as Kallurkar, Shivpuri, who supported me for this research. K for my name, Kallurkar. S for HGGS, where we did this research. HGGS is in Nanded, part of Marathwada. And AICT, who funded this research. So with that, we developed a technique of goal and personality mastery. And we can implement that as a part of our course, whichever subject we are teaching. So we will discuss about that research now, because I find that if you want to make use of IKS and go for holistic development by students, then this ICSA technique is useful. So next PowerPoint. The main key takeaways from the discussion that we will have from now is, with this you can provide a framework for important career decisions to your students. And you yourself, if you want to take a next turn from wherever you are in the career, it will help you to also implement it for yourself. Then enhance one's physical and mental attributes matching with the industry demands. So we can help them to choose the career that suits their personality, and then develop their personality, especially physical and mental attributes, to suit to the demands of the career that they have chosen. And here you can achieve holistic development not only when they are in the college with you, but throughout their life. You can provide them a framework of that. So those who are interested can communicate with us, and we can provide you the hand holding. Or if BAMU is interested to establish this kind of center, still we can provide you the hand holding and provide you certain contacts in India and abroad. Mastering the happiness in different types of situations. This is the real holistic development of the individuals. How can we achieve it? So next PowerPoint. See, it starts with this story this businessman he earns a lot of money, so he goes to he decides that now onwards weekend no work, only outing. So he's going for an outing. He sees this cowboy, गुराखी ज्याला आपण मराठीत म्हणतो, and then he has some conversation with the cowboy. So he sees a cowboy sleeping under the tree in a farm. He feels with torn clothes, even not a kind of dressing. This photo we got from Google, but that cowboy is not even having this kind of clothes. फटी हुई चड्डी, फटी हुआ सदरा या फटा हुआ बनियान, and he feels that I can do something, some change in the life of this guy. So he stops his car, asks the driver to stop the car, walks to the boy, and says that, "What are you doing?" The boy says, "The cattle is gazing. In the evening, I'll take them back. If I don't do this work, my mom does not give me food on that day. So to earn my livelihood, I am doing this job." So he says to the boy, "What kind of life you are living? Come, I'll give you some job in my factory. You can come with me, or this, I will give you my address. You come and meet me." The boy was knowing that work means grazing the cows. He says, "Okay, means you have cows in your factory also." He says, "No, probably you have not seen the urban world. There are no cows, but you can do the job of a helper. Clean the machines, lift the material, good old days." He said, "Then what will happen?" He said, "Now with that you can earn some more money. You can wear better clothes. You can stay in a better house." He says, "So what will happen?" He says, "If you learn how to work on machines, then you can be promoted from helper to worker. You can earn still better money." Boy says, "Okay, उससे क्या होगा?" He says, "If you learn even more, then we can promote you as a supervisor rather from the post of worker. Now you can buy a motorcycle or have a house of your own, something like this, and you can have a better life." Boy says, "Okay, with that, then what will happen?" And he, being optimistic, he says, "You can become manager, you can become general manager, you can become director, and you can live a better lifestyle, modern lifestyle. You can buy a car, you can stay in a bungalow, you can get married to a nice girl, and all this." And then boy again ask him, "Okay, ये सब करने से क्या होगा?" He says, "One day, if you still work nicely, you can become chairman of a company like me and live a happy life as I am living today." The boy asked a question, "Who told you that I am not living a happy life? Why should I do all these things to be happy? I am happy today also." So we are able to see two different kind of personality. One is who's growth oriented, the businessman, the entrepreneur. Another who is happy with whatever he has right now and interested in status quo in life, no change. If you go to a sadhu baba or sannyasi who sits in Himalayas, he will say, "Renunciate everything, come here, do meditation, and then the kind of happiness that you get is the happiness." Now you find here that all of the three members here in this story are marching towards happiness. They all want happiness. But the definition of happiness, each one of them is different. So when a person, you want to help your students to carve out their career, it can start with, who am I exercise? What makes me happy? What is that I'm looking for? And going for that, trying to understand what is that I am looking for. Because in many of us cases, what has happened, we have never thought to that depth. We just accepted a kind of job that came to us, but we never planned our career path. Can we help our students to plan their career path? And the first step could be next PowerPoint, professional satisfaction. So we can ask them to prepare a formula of their professional satisfaction. I do it in some of the programs. We can provide a hand holding so that you can also do it for your own students. We all are working because we want money, we want status, we want some proper working hours. So money, status, working hours, hours of working, day and night, workplace relationships, growth opportunity, use of skills. This could be some of the points on which one can work, but it is not limited to that. There could be some people who want something different in their life. Let's talk about only 5 hours, 5 years time bucket. Because when we were children, if we were given a chocolate, we were happy. If I are given chocolate today, I may be happy, but not to that extent. Like जैसे मैं बचपन में जंपिंग करता था ना चॉकलेट मिलने के बाद, शायद अभी नहीं करूंगा या आप में से भी कोई नहीं करेंगे. So the definition of satisfaction keeps on changing. So definition of professional satisfaction also keeps on changing every 5 to 10 years. But we can help them to decide 10 years from now and how my students, or if you are interested in consultancy, maybe the people from corporate world or industrial world around you can achieve 10x growth in life. Because we started with talking about that Atharvaveda's philosophy, Divan Charoha, Prithvin Charoha. And if I try to implement that in my life, it becomes way of achieving 10x growth in 10 years. And again 10x growth in 10 years, and again 10x growth in 10 years. So if you work for 40 years, you get 40x growth. Means 40 promotions. कोई नहीं मिलता है हमको तो 3 या 4. अगर हम कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल भी बन जाते हैं तो लेक्चरर, assistant professor to associate professor to professor, and professor to principal, or at the most vice chancellor of the university. So 5 promotions. We are talking about 40 promotions in his lifespan. That is 10x growth 4 times. On whichever front, because your definition of professional satisfaction will keep on changing. So whichever new direction you want to take, and then see what suits me, what kind of career path now suits me. This is all that philosophy. Implementing in modern day's life, which has come to us from Atharva Veda. So really implementing IKS in day-to-day life, throughout the life of maybe the student you are talking about. So learning to learn again and again. So this program can develop agenda of thinking for them. Okay? So we'll not practice some of the next aspects of it. Yes, happiness depends on our thought. And the thought process can be designed. You're going to see how can I design my thought process. So this is an exercise. Next PowerPoint, where we develop a formula of own professional satisfaction. Then, depending on our thought process, as you said, and implement that further. So in the main program, we can prepare our own formula of professional satisfaction, or help our people to prepare the own formula of professional satisfaction, and then look for the job. Right now, what happens? We say, oh, these are all the job opportunities, so you can select one of them. Here we are giving them a pathway to select the career path. So next, the kind of career opportunity then we will help our students to achieve is where the reward of success of chosen profession map actually need to match, but basically it is mapping with the formula of professional satisfaction. So having prepared a formula of professional satisfaction, then which are the career paths that will satisfy me? Because I want to be ultimately happy in life. So let me first decide for myself what kind of career path I want to take, and then look for the opportunities in that path. I hope you are getting the approach that we are talking about. So that mapping can be at least 70%. It cannot be 100%. Very difficult to make it 100%. But even if the mapping is 70%, with the reward of success in the chosen profession, we'll see one story which will tell us how it happens. When the reward of success is matching with your formula of professional satisfaction, then your approach to day-to-day issues will change, and that helps you to grow in the career. So next part. Next part, yes. So here comes the importance of SWOT analysis, which many of us would be already aware about. Knowing own strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The next part is how do we do it? Yes. So we can ask them to list down their own strengths and certain opportunities which are where the strength becomes a capital can be selected. So person knows where he or she wants to go for. And then what are the threats in that? Internal threats and external threats. Internal threats in this case could be the individual himself. Like someone was telling me, self-doubt is a threat. Yes, self-doubt is a threat. It is internal threat. Whereas whatever I am doing, what is the fate of it in the market, job market, or the entrepreneurial market? That is an external threat. So taking in all these things into account. I was recently working with one of my students who happened to be my student of BE Computer pass out of 2014. It's almost 11 years back. So last year he approached me. He is in New York now. So after that he did his MTech from VJTI and PhD from Rochester in US. And presently working in New York, staying in New Jersey. You know, staying in New York is very difficult. So he's staying in New Jersey. Or everyone who works in New York stays in New Jersey. जैसे कि मुंबई में भी जो साउथ बॉम्बे में जॉब करता है वो रहता कहाँ है? Somewhere outskirts of Mumbai, because it's difficult to afford a house there. Anyway, the same thing, he's staying in New Jersey. And he approached me and saying, sir, I'm a team leader of a company. I'm in the cybersecurity field. And I think I will take up this course. So we had discussions for about 10 to 12 hours online mode through Google Meet. And then after SWOT analysis, he asked ChatGPT, AI system, what are the opportunities for me? And ChatGPT gave him 700 opportunities. We reduced it to 70, and then from 70 we reduced it to 7. That's something which we can think of. And ultimately we decided that yes, ChatGPT, he asked, where should I be in 10 years from now? And ChatGPT said him that in 10 years you should be CEO of a company. So that gave us the idea that 10x growth for this person is becoming CEO of a company in 10 years. If you want to be CEO of a company in 10 years, what is important is you enter the C-suite executive zone, that is board of directors of the company, within next 3 to 5 years. So we decided what is his 10x growth in 10 years time. And part of that is enter the C-suite executive zone in cyber security field within next 3 to 5 years. So हमारा target decide हो गया इसमें से through this. Then we studied further. It was a time actually. I'll tell you the share the complete case study. उसी टाइम उनको ना चेन्नई से एक न्यूयॉर्क बेस्ड कंपनी को चेन्नई से एक थ्रेट आया कि आई एम फाइंडिंग सम बग्स इन योर सिस्टम and I can have a cyber attack on you. If you don't want this cyber attack, pay me 50,000 US dollars. And everyone in the company was thinking that, chalo, let us pay him $50,000. नहीं तो हमारा पूरा system collapse हो जाएगा. They have employees in about 25 countries. They employ about 2,000 people in 25 countries, including Bangalore and Kolkata in India. But this boy, because he was undergoing this program, he said, "No, I can fix this bug. We need not pay $50,000 to that guy." So either someone was recommending pay $50,000 and get rid of this guy, or someone did not understand what is the importance of this. He was telling me, "Sir, मैं तो security वाला हूँ, मुझे समझ रहा है कि ये threat बहुत difficult है, लेकिन मेरा बॉस कह रहा है कि अरे डोंट वरी, ऐसे तो थ्रेड आते रहते हैं, बट मुझे दिख रहा है कि वो बग है." और कोई कह रहा है कि नहीं, जो टॉप अथॉरिटीज है कंपनी में, वो कह रहे हैं नहीं नहीं चलो $50,000 दे देते हैं, बहुत बड़ी भी डिमांड नहीं है उसकी, सो दैट हमारी सिस्टम में साइबर अटैक ना हो जाए. एंड ही कुड फिक्स द बग एंड डिडंट पे 50,000. In the meantime, he realized that there is a need of what they say in cyber security, they talk about privacy, data privacy. Data privacy is important. He found that some issue, that threat that company faced is because of the data privacy that they have. So there is a need of CPO, Chief Privacy Officer. European Union recommends that you should have a CPO. American system was not recommending. So he recommended next year, इसमें एक साल गया, next year company asked them, everyone employees, that what you want? What's your plan? He said, I want to be CPO of the company in next 3 years' time. So the bosses above him, the managers or directors, they were surprised कि टीम लीड कह रहा है कि मुझे सीपीओ बनना है. अच्छा, इन द मीन टाइम क्या हुआ था? He was given, they found that some changes are happening with this guy. American companies are very sharp in understanding that, and they wanted to make use of this. They didn't know what kind of training he was undergoing at personal level, but they were observing that his behavior pattern, his working pattern is undergoing a change. So they said, instead of team lead of 3, now you are team lead of 10. And after 1 month, they said, now you are team lead of 16. And after 3 months, they said, you please develop a dashboard for the company. And because he was undergoing this training, and he worked a lot on technical side also, and he could develop the dashboard in 6 months' time. And he was given the responsibility of training the people who will be using the dashboards. So young boy, less than 30 years age, just with 3 years of experience, training someone who is having 15 years or 20 years of experience. And it was not acceptable. So he had to prove his acceptability to the people around him. And there, the remaining part of this training program, which comes from IKS, was helpful. And now the company has given him a blanket permission of attending the board of directors meeting, that is C-suite executive meeting, for next 1 year. So 12 meetings, 1 per month. Out of that, he has already attended 2. And the CEO of the company said that, yes, we accept that you will be the CPO of this company. We'll create a post of CPO in our company, and you will be the first CPO But before that, prepare yourself to enter the C-suite executive. So one of the preparations is एक साल अभी हमारी meetings attend करो, and then learn what is the difference between the meetings at managerial level and the C-suite executives level, and then you can enter into the C-suite executive level in 3 years time. So prepare yourself from technical front, personal behavioral front, networking front, and all these things. So he is working. So every month we spend at least 1 hour together and decide what next, what next, what next. 10x growth. All these things, why I am sharing this story with you, his name is Dr. Gaurav Wagh, is the importance of applicable aspect of this program, what we are talking about in the real world. Okay, next PowerPoint. So, on the weakness front, self-assessment, skill development, feedback to overcome the weaknesses. So in this case also we realized there are some weaknesses and we worked on overcoming those weaknesses. So we can help our students to first understand what is my weakness, how do I overcome that, and then comes the threat part. Next PowerPoint. Internal and external threats. What worries me more? And I will try to work on that first because threats need to be worked upon. I was working with an entrepreneur from Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar whose turnover as on today is 115 crores. He is a civil engineer. And we decided that in next 5 years time, our turnover needs to be 100 crores. So what new business ideas can be thought of? So when we are talking about the threat, he said, sir, fear of failure is a threat I am facing. My immediate reaction, because I'm a professor of entrepreneurship development and working in this field since 1989. So I said, no, it's not possible. You are doing this business for last 10 years. You have grown from almost nil to 15 crores turnover. You can't have fear of failure. And then we discussed further and we realized that he gets worried when there is an accident at any one of his sites, being a civil engineer, because फिर वो पुलिस स्टेशन के चक्कर, फिर कोर्ट की चक्कर वगैरह वगैरह. And then he finds it difficult to ask money because he says that being an engineer, I'm good in design, I'm not good in begging the people for money. अरे आपका पैसा नहीं आया है, पैसा नहीं आया है, अभी तक पैसा नहीं आया. He's working with the industry for industry shares. So then we said that these two are your phobias, not the threats. Let's work on these two phobias. We decided that now you have come to a level that you can pay 50,000 rupees to an employee and hire someone who will take care of, who is in charge of these two issues. Payment collection, एक एग्जीक्यूटिव अपॉइंट कर दिया, उसको महीने को 50,000 दे रहे हैं. कहीं एक्सीडेंट होता है तो वो सब हैंडल करने के लिए दूसरा एग्जीक्यूटिव अपॉइंट कर दिया, उसको भी 50,000 रुपया महीना दे रहे हैं. Then he said, sir, I already have an employee. His wife is a police and he enjoys going to police station and going to the court. Well, best thing is that, okay, assign him this responsibility. Whenever he handles a situation, you are already appointed him for some job, you pay him 10,000 rupees perks additional. He said, that is not a problem. This is the way we need to handle internal and external threats. Now the external threats was whether the more people will be there, whether I should expand geographically or in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar only. Should I add another business line or grow in the same line? So answering all these questions is nothing but career planning. Why I give you these two examples? Because then that confirms that yes, it works in case of executives and entrepreneurs. The model that we are talking about. Okay, next PowerPoint. The threats could be sometimes the two people here, one is saying it is 9, another person saying it is 6. And this is what is important. Whichever company or job I am doing, it is providing some product or service to someone else, how he or she can develop the empathy, customer orientation. Doesn't matter. He is looking at it from the another side. So he is saying it is 9. I am looking from the other side. So I am saying it is 6. Let's say both are right. How can I accept the opinion of others, views of others also? So I am more adaptable, acceptable. So this can be one of the methods to overcome the threats. Next PowerPoint. Now in this story, that boy, he is going, the whole family is going to some temple which is on the hills. When the car reaches foothills of the hills, the youngsters say, we will go in by trekking. The mother, who is a little older, she says, no, I am not going to come with you. I will go and wait for you. I'll go in the car. Anyway, good road is also there to reach there. So these 2, 3 children, they get down. After half an hour, 1 hour, they reach. And now there are so many stories to tell. It was hot sun. यहाँ पे मैं गिरने वाला था. Then I catch the bush, this, that, everything. And how did I reach here? Now what happens? The family comes back. The elder sister is married. The in-laws are here. We did not get an Indian picture from Google, so we used an European picture. So they don't look like what we have kind of culture in the family. So mother says, ask the in-laws who have come home whether you would like to have tea or coffee, and they say no, because it is summer. Maybe that we will prefer, you can give us lemon juice, nimbu sharbat. She opens the fridge and finds that there are no nimbus, no lemon in the fridge. She asks the boy, just go and buy it. He says, इतनी धूप में बाहर जाके मार लेके आऊं? नहीं, अरे नींबू नहीं है तो रसना पड़ा है फ्रिज में, वही बना के पिला दो और कटा दो ये लोगों को. Boy is talking in his language. मदर इज थिंकिंग ना ये भाई तो सुनने वाला नहीं है, फटक से वो जाती है, नींबू लेके आती है, नींबू शरबत बना के पिला देती है. नाउ इन केस 1, reward of success and formula of professional satisfaction. I'm talking about that. In case 1, he is interested in trekking under the hot sun because there he is very happy. Here, in-laws of your daughter should be go happily from your home is the interest of mother. So same hot sun, in case 1, in both the cases it is problem. But same hot sun becomes a challenge for son in case 1 and challenge for mother in case 2. Whereas it becomes obstacle for the son in case 2, and it is not it was an obstacle for mother in case 1, climbing, trekking. So here you understand that developing the formula of professional satisfaction and then choosing the career accordingly, we help our students to grow properly in the career. Okay, here is the important next PowerPoint. Another important is we have to teach them value creation. then only their value in the market will enhance and their employability will get enhanced. So holistic development is also from the point of view of success in the career, success in life. So value of anything for the user is function divided by cost. So functions are of three types: primary, secondary, tertiary. So either the cost should be reduced. If you are an entrepreneur, think of cost reduction so that customer gets it at a cheaper price. But if you are working, you don't want your salary to go down. Your functional capability should increase. And if you, as a professor, if you think of establishing a center of excellence and get 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, or even 3 crores to your institution, your value to the management of the organization you are working is increasing, improved. Your primary function is to teach, but tertiary function is also to work on projects and get more money to the institute. So from that perspective, you can look at this. Okay. And same thing you can try to imbibe in your students community, or not only that, but we find that 84% of the people in the age group of 30 to 55 in Indian context are not happy with the job, and even 64% globally. The market is tremendous to offer these kind of programs. And all of them, they want a mid-career executive counseling that can become a starting point of my industry institute interaction. It's a big market, 64%. And even 64% globally, 84% at national level. And the other part, 16 and 36%, not necessary that they are all also happy with that. Because they are earning more money. So according to Google systems, they are happy. But true happiness they might not be getting. Then they want to know something, how to combine peace and prosperity together. So even many of them also can be the people who want this kind of program, which you can develop and offer to the people around your organizational setup. Okay, next. These are certain techniques: a new product, new process, new management strategy, or new market, meta innovation. This can be taught to them. Because of paucity of time, we'll skip this part and go to the next part. Next PowerPoint. Okay, these are some techniques to teach out of box thinking. Next. Yeah, this is also one of the model of out of box thinking. And creative pause is a technique. I was coming from Nasik 2 days before, day before yesterday, and I was coming by train. So I went to Mumbai and asked one of my students who had passed out 10 years back, and he called me recently and said, "Sir, I am undergoing very bad time. Sometimes I'm thinking of suicidal." So I said, let's learn creative pause. So naturally मैंने ऐसे डिजाइन किया था कि I will have 4 hours in Dadar. So I said, I am in Dadar at between 12 to 4. Do you want to spend time? He said, yes. So he joined me by 12:30, little 30 minutes late. And then we had lunch together, and then we had discussions together in that AC lounge of good railway stations. And he was telling me, sir, your creative pause is very effective. My thought process, madam ने अभी बोला था ना, happiness depends on the thought process. And when the happiness is changing to sadness, I can convert that sadness into happiness by taking a creative pause. This is that example of my Mumbai-based student. I can't tell you the story because it is pure personal. But imagine, he is getting suicidal thoughts in mind. So happiness is gone. And he is telling me, sir, creative pause is very effective. And when we were talking also, he said, sir, I'm taking creative pause. And now from 20 seconds, I have raised my creative pause to 30 seconds. And I'm finding that it is changing the thought process in me. I'm ready to forget. I was telling him, 3 महीने से हम फोन पे बात कर रहे थे. I was telling, अरे forget, जो हो गया सो हो गया, चल अगला देख. And he was telling, नहीं नहीं सर, वही याद आ रहा है, वही याद आ रहा है, वही प्रॉब्लम याद आ रहा है. And then he himself is telling me, sir, creative pause is helping me to go out of that situation. So that thought process changing from worse to good as a capacity of creative pause. Okay. So because this is online program and then because of the limitations, we'll not be able to take that creative pause. But creative pause, stop thinking for 20 seconds, helps you to change your thought process. And next PowerPoint. Next. Okay, here is the mechanism of mind which is the base of artificial intelligence, but we'll skip that part and go to the next. Yes. So this 20 seconds creative pause can be extended up to 2 minutes. And now here that what Lord Krishna said, yajna dana tapak karma. So yajna plays an important role where you can take the creative pause. And if you see what Mauli has said, Satyanarayeshwar has said, he says in Marathi, Sadharmu jo bapa to nitya yajnu janapa. Parivartata tetapapa sancharu nahi. Will not go for the next part. But nitya yajnu, daily sacrificial practice, which is connected to sunrise and sunset, which is also mentioned in Bible, where the Lord says, the vision about evening morning sacrifice, which has been explained to you, shall come true, but keep it a secret now because it's a long time that it will come true. And we are talking about the same thing. Vision about evening morning sacrifice. What Mauli says, Nitya Yajna. Nitya means sunrise and sunset. This is something Nitya happening in our life. जब से हम पैदा हुए तब से जब ये दुनिया छोड़ के जाएंगे तब तक रोज सनराइज भी होगा सनसेट भी होगा. दिस इज वेरी समथिंग विच ऐसे नहीं होता है ना कि अरे नहीं आज ना सूर्योदय ने छुट्टी का एप्लीकेशन कर दिया है. So there is not going to be sunrise today. Even the place where sunrise and sunset is every 6 months, there also it is happening. I hope our time is up to 5:30. I hope, because I was told it is 3 hour session. So I am assuming it is up to 5:30. Hope people are with us. Yes, there are 34. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Thank you, Rajaroji. So it helps to boost the personality development that our research says. Next PowerPoint. Here our personality, word personality comes from persona, means to take mask. But truly speaking, when we look at it from our local language, Marathi, व्यक्तिमत्व व्यक्त होत जाणारं मी तत्व. सो या मी तत्वाला व्यक्त होण्यासाठी what we need is 5 sheets. It is said as अन्नमय कोश, प्राणमय कोश, मनोमय कोश, विज्ञानमय कोश, आनंदमय कोश, food sheet, breath sheet, mind sheet, knowledge sheet, bliss sheet. The development of these sheets with reference to the career that you have chosen, and yes, and the career that matches with your formula of professional satisfaction is important. Next PowerPoint. We are the process is choosing the career that suits us, developing ourselves to suit to the need of career, and then the remaining part. Next, which talks about the 5 Cs. So, strategic eating. So, right food habits. Generally, even Professor Sareen, Dr. Sareen, who recently had a meeting in a press conference in a five-star hotel in Delhi, also recommended 60-40. 60% raw food, 40% cooked food for the kind of lifestyle we are undergoing. So maybe that we can help them to create a proper diet plan and try to follow it. People keep on accepting the diet. Next PowerPoint. People accept the diet plans which are recommended by others. I had a driver when I was at Nanded. He used to tell me good old days जब गाड़ी में पानी डाल के वो रेडिएटर में पानी डाल के गाड़ी चलाते थे साहब नेक्स्ट पावर पॉइंट साहब गाड़ी में बात करते करते गाड़ी चलाएंगे तो गाड़ी रास्ते में धोखा नहीं देती सेम थिंग if you want to be active and work capability up to the age of 80 at least or beyond that, then I would say body से बात करते करते अगर जिंदगी जिएंगे तो बॉडी रास्ते में धोखा नहीं देती. Something like this. That's the importance of food and exercise, which is nothing but yes. So we can create a proper strategic eating, strategic exercising. Next, even strategic breathing, because breathe and mind are two sides of the same coin. So control the mind, easy way is to control the breath. And this has come from Shiva Samhita. That is, the ratio is 1:4:2:1. So we found that this gives the better results. So one can choose that. Next. As I said, breath and mind are two sides of the same coin, and mind is a tool to get the things done, control our behavior pattern. Our behavior pattern is reactive. Through breathing system and creative pause, we can shift from a reactive mode to reflective mode. And when we enter from reactive mode to reflective mode, our networking improves. So these are all things we have seen. And if someone is interested, you can get back to me and then we can see how it can be implemented, and you can do research in this and then get, because अभी IKS is a buzzword. आप कोई भी रिसर्च प्रपोजल IKS नाम डाल के डालोगे तो सैंक्शन होने के चांसेस ज्यादा है. रिसेंटली हमने एक ट्रायल भी किया था गवर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक मीरस. द प्रिंसिपल इज माय स्टूडेंट, सो ही सेड मेरा एक प्रोफेसर अभी IIT खड़गपुर से PhD करके आया है, वो कह रहा है इंडस्ट्री 4.0 पे मुझे FDP करना है. ये जैसा MMT का FDP है उधर अटल FDP होता है. सो बट मुझे लग रहा है कि ये कुछ उसका प्रपोजल ठीक नहीं हुआ सर, आप देख लीजिए एक बार. सो I said, okay, so we discussed and I said, why do you want to work on Industry 4.0? There is people are talking about Industry 5.0, where the man behind the machines and the environment around is taken care, which can be taken care better with IKS. He submitted a proposal implementing Industry 5.0 through IKS. And within 1 week, it was sanctioned and he called me and said, sir, AICT ने मुझे sanction दे दिया है, 2.5 लाख रुपया आ रहा है, अभी प्रोग्राम डिजाइन करते हैं. Something like this. So it's a buzzword. आप IKS वर्ड डालो, कुछ काम किया हुआ बताओ अपने को पहले खुद, and immediately you will get money. I personally also experienced in 1997. So this is all about the mind shift, love the neighbor and all these things. Go back. And that Nitya Yajna is called Agnihotra. Those who are in Aurangabad, or many of you would be knowing what is that. Even Suttanipat says Agyutta Mukho Yatta Saviti Chandaso Mukham. So Suttanipat also touches this part of Nitya Yajna. So now we'll have a small demo instead of just talking. So Ruta will give us a demo. What is that daily sacrifice? Ruta, can you start your video and show us the demo?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Just a second.
This is a pyramid shape pop, semi-pyramid shape. It had its importance. Okay, you start demo as early as possible. You can explain what you are doing.
Yes,
Ruta,
sir.
are you ready? Yeah.
Yes. Is it visible now? Yes. Is it visible now?
It's not completely visible. Camera थोड़ा नीचे कर दीजिए. Yes. Okay. Good. Ruta is from Mercedes Benz.
So this is a Agnyodhra pot. We have unbroken uncooked rice, 2 pinches of unbroken uncooked rice, and 2 drops of pure cow. Now this pause has to be taken exactly at sunrise and sunset. I will demonstrate the mantras for sunset. Agnyodhra. Agnaye Swaha. Agnaye Idam na mama. Prajapataye Swaha. Prajapataye Idam na mama.
Oh, creative pause is over. Yes, Ruta?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you take the creative pause in this environment, it has got, according to the research done by Professor Kruger of Berkeley University, in this environment, the percentage of negative ions is more, which helps towards our mind to reach towards tranquility. So tranquility of mind increases in this environment. So that's the reason. The same thing is possible. Next PowerPoint. Same thing is also possible when you take a walk near the big water bodies or fountains. So that student of New York, he is every day Saturday, every day morning and evening, he takes a walk in the pond nearby. And he says that, sir, yes, when I'm taking this creative pause in that environment, what you said, near big water bodies where the percentage of negative ions is more, I'm finding that, yes, it works. The next part is knowledge shift. Think globally, act locally. And for that, whichever profession I am, I should acquire the knowledge as much as possible strategically and try to apply that in my day-to-day life at my workplace. And from engineering point of view, we ask our students to learn technology management. When PET, many of you would have appeared for PET exam for an entrance for your PhD. So Pune University, that time the name was Pune University, was the first to, thank you Mohammed sir. So Pune University was the first in the state. So other universities were thinking कि चलो Pune University को खड्डे में गिरने दो, बाद में हम जाते हैं. तो Pune University ने एक 7 लोगों की टीम बनाई. तो उसमें से हम 2 इंजीनियरिंग वाले थे और फिर बोल दिया कि अलग अलग चाहे तो कुछ पोर्शन आप अपना अलग भी रख सकते हो. तो हमने कहा भाई टेक्नोलॉजी मैनेजमेंट, जब वो पीएचडी करके कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी में नया करने वाला है फॉर इंजीनियरिंग, तो टेक्नोलॉजी मैनेजमेंट 25 मार्क का रखते हैं. तो वो थोड़ा स्टडी करके आएगा. व्हाट इज टेक्नोलॉजी मैनेजमेंट, forecasting the technology, understanding the technology which suits me, absorbing the technology in my work environment, using that technology, and one day deciding कि अभी ये technology मुझे जरूरत नहीं, I have to go to the next technology. That is all is technology management. The boys should know, the person who is doing a PhD in engineering should know how is applicable in the industrial world. Then our research and practice will go hand in hand. Otherwise, क्या फायदा है वो thesis बना के. So we took that, and that 25 marks for almost 6 years, 6 to 8 years they implemented. I don't know what has happened to that, whether Pune SPPU is going ahead with technology management still or they have stopped it. But this is the beauty of technology management. So आपल्याकडे जे म्हणतात ऐकावे जनाचे करावे मनाचे, it is something like this. That is knowledge shift. Next. Okay. So we selected career path that makes us happy. Then try to be happy wherever we are. There were 2 comments. It depends on the mind. So understanding how the mind works and training our mind to keep us happy. Then taking the creative pause so that in all types of situations, success and failure, we can remain happy. Okay. So this is all that we are discussing. The next part is sharing the assets with the feeling of humility. Sharing is caring. So, yeah. So that as a strategy, sharing something with our fellow people around us in the organizations wherever we are working without any expectations in return. But that develops your networking capabilities, which is very important because network is net worth. If you want to success in the professional world, then remember network is net worth. And that net worth is improved by sharing the assets with the feeling of humility. So that is again a strategic way of developing the network so that it really becomes net worth. And when you are calm and acceptable to the people around, and if you are already in the leadership position, you will find that your leadership leads to legacy. So this technique ultimately is also a leadership development program where the leadership leads to legacy. You remember that person even when that person is not there in the chair. So creating an impact before we are retiring from the job, so that people remember us even after, but not चलो अच्छा हुआ गलत आदमी था निकल गया, not that way, but whenever they are in a difficulty, they have a problem, they still remember us, and then they want to have some guidance from us. Developing our personality to that extent is the real role of a teacher. The real role of a teacher is does not stop when he or she gets the degree, but continues throughout the life. Even after 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, your student remembers you and wants some guidance from you. When you develop your personality as a teacher like this, that's the real achievement. Next PowerPoint. Next is restrainment, reducing our needs so that we are comfortable in all types of situations. Okay. Next PowerPoint. Understanding the laws of action. What we expect from others, we will try to give to others can be the basic principle. And then when we have a regular program, we have given them 17 do's and don'ts so that your behavior is improved. And when everyone's behavior in the organization is improved, the OB of the organization is improved. So this is a simple principle. Like we want respect, first give the respect. You can't gain the respect. You can't fire someone and say that I am the teacher, respect me. Probably that respect will not come. It may come as only an acting. But the respect from bottom of heart will come when you respect others. So understanding that as a part of my behavior pattern and implementing that, ultimately leadership leads to legacy. Next. Self-study. A 5 minutes appointment with the self. Whole day we are appointment with many people. So having a 5 minutes appointment with the self, minute 1, remember the mistakes what I committed in last 24 hours, which may not help me to reach to the extent that I want to. Resolve that I will not repeat this mistake again. Plan the day's important work. And wherever we have a faith to that supreme power. And not only that, whatever success and failure I got in last 24 hours, it's your. Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. Having this kind of behavioral pattern and then taking a creative pause, we have found that it really works. It helps the people to grow with what is said 10x growth. This is a technique from IKS which helps you to grow, have a 10x growth. Next. We train 400 entrepreneurs on behalf of MCD Nanded, and we observed what is that they get. And our finding that research जो हमको गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने दिया था उसका finding when we submitted them, we said it helps to increase the power of determination, power of rational thinking, power of commitment, increase in ability to face the negative situation, and develop the capability to be a complete personality. So these were the findings of that research. And we are finding that whenever I am working with my clients now, because after retirement, I am 69 years old. After retirement, I started a company, and there we offer mid-career executive counseling to the people. And I find that when they implement this, then it works. So my New York student was saying, sir, the real training starts after the regular training is over. ये जो आपका 10-12 घंटे का ट्रेनिंग सेशन है, जब खत्म होता है, and then when we have monthly meetings, I am coming with problems I am facing, and you are giving solutions from 5 Vedic laws of success concept. And there I am finding that the real training, he used a word, sir, real training starts after the regular training is over. and that can continue for years together. So this is the beauty of the training program I am talking about. Next PowerPoint. Is we can help the people to practice this. He is an appeal to all of you, heartfelt appeal. We call it as धर्म भिक्षा. So मैं आपको धर्म भिक्षा मांग रहा हूं कि आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ये ऑफर कीजिए and help them to grow in their life. Thank you very much. Next. Practice is a ticket to success. We can help them to practice it on a regular basis. Okay. Next. Any questions? And whether you have time to ask for questions or you can write to me or communicate to me through any other form. Okay. If any question is there, maybe that you can type in the chat box. So next PowerPoint. Goal, action, result, taking a feedback and again redeciding the goal is a real way of growing in the life. This is what we have seen today. So with this, I think how to design thought process is a question. The thought process can be designed by improving your connect with the Supreme Power. Another thing, the thought process of me should be such that I am more acceptable to the people around me. So I can have strategic eating, strategic exercising, strategic behavior patterns, sharing the assets with the feeling of humility. Let this become a part and parcel of my personality, and then I will find that my thought process is improved. And this improved thought process will help you to ultimately get success in the life. Not only you, but you can help your students to get that. That is holistic development through IKS. Okay. Thank you very much. And yes, I really thank the organizer that you gave me an opportunity to share my thoughts. And with that, I conclude from my end. Thank you very much, sir. All the participants, thank you very much. And see you to sometime again. If you are interested, you can come back to me and we can think of developing a center of excellence of this kind in your organization. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, organizers, if you are here, can I leave the meeting?
Yes, sir. You can leave this meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much, sir. Thank you so much.